veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes. Made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks. Feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight. Never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say 'Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes. Taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great. Popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say I work hard each and every day. I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never cap in space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
but if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, sitting right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free. You know I'm addicted to you, and it's twisted. You've been gifted with the evil voodoo. Got me coming back for more, even when I've been screwed. Dolls full of pins, pierce my heart straight through. I got issues in my head. I like you in my bed, but you keep me on red. Oh, everything is like a test. I better not text or I'll come off desperate.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, sitting right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
So if I play dead, will you regret everything that you did, that you said? I don't think you understand what you're doing, and my heart's black and blue from the bruising. I feel like when I'm with you I'm losing. I feel like you think that this amusing, sitting there gaslighting and confusing. Was it me? Is it me? Am I deluded? I'm the one who's always sorry, the conclusion, even though I offer all of the solutions. I wish you loved me like I love you, it's stupid. When I'm alone with you I never feel lucid. I wish I wasn't struck by Cupid. I wish when I first saw you I knew this. When I'm with you I feel so useless. I feel diluted, my heart's been wounded. Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm. Play with me like cats and a string. You don't understand the pain it brings. You don't ever wanna give me wings. You don't ever wanna set me free.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, sitting right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me? Then will you get bored of killing me?
What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. We are back at y'all with a brand new video. And we gotta hit you with the sneak peek, baby. Yo, your girl come up out of there like an absolute demon. By Lavelle. And my guy Nova getting upgrades presumably to tier 4. I wasn't looking terribly closely to see if there was anything like hidden in the sneak peek sort of thing. But this is absolute cinema, bros. Absolutely amazing. The sneak peek team absolutely cooked. Let's go ahead and mute this while we watch this a couple more times, and we'll have a game audio going in the back behind it. As a matter of fact, here, we'll mute it. We'll mute it this way. That way I can still hear the in-game audio. So, we got my girl Phyla Vale. I'm assuming that's her as Quasar. I'm thinking, but yeah. And Nova, of course, of the Nova Corps, Richard Ryder getting upgrades and tier 4 presumably. So that's gonna make a grand total of 6 in this complete update. I do love the fact that they actually modeled creatures from the negative zone, or creatures from the Annihilation Wave itself. That's absolutely dope. Now, I know this is kind of based on the whole, and I wish I had it pulled up. I should have pulled up that sneak peek too. But the last collab that we got was for Marvel Rivals, not Marvel Cosmic Invasion. So I guess that really wouldn't be like a one-to-one comparison. But, and they got the popcorn sitting out there on the side of the trash can. That's dope. Yo, whoever in the sneak peek team decided to add that as a touch, that right there, that little bucket of popcorn right there. Yo, I thought if I paused it right here. Yeah, so the little bucket of popcorn right here, whoever from the sneak peek team decided to add that as part of this, like at the beginning as well, yo, chef's kiss. I tip my hat to you, bro, because y'all already knew y'all was gonna hit us in the head with something serious. Now, glazing of the sneak peek aside, okay, we'll let this thing keep running, but you know, putting aside the glazing of the sneak peek, okay? For now, let's get that out of the way. Which is cinema, by the way. We've had several other sneak peeks. And that I can get pulled up. But we've had several other sneak peeks over the last year in particular that were pretty damn good. They weren't this level. This is probably the most animation that we've got in a sneak peek probably since the Odin 1000 BC joint. That one had a lot of animation as well. I know a lot of people will go straight to the Jean Grey sneak peek, which was cool. It had voiceovers and all of this stuff. But a lot of people tend to forget that 1000 BC Odin with Medusa and, I mean, not Medusa, with Angela and Malekith. That was a pretty damn good sneak peek, bro. And as a matter of fact, let me go search. I've never done it this way, so I'm kind of curious on what all comes up if I just search sneak peek on is it a full playlist for the sneak peeks? Oh, that's actually dope. No, I don't want to play them all, but I do want to see the playlist. And the page isn't rendering. Okay. No, I actually don't want two of these running. I bet it is slowing down. Here, we'll try it this way. I need to borrow a bit of real estate. I don't want to play them all, but I do want to view them all. Yeah, and see, this is only going to take me back 3 months this way, so. So yeah, let's continue to chop it up whilst we while we talk about this. And as a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and kill that. So we do have the Valentine's Day event going on right now, so make sure that you're not doing like me and skipping and missing days and stuff, and you're actually able to get a hold of all of these rewards. This game does really reward you for not missing out. And if you're free to play or anything like that, then it's really going to help you out a lot in that regard. So, and I'm probably gonna have to swing this over to the other window whenever I do find it. So let's go ahead and get the game pulled up here. Whilst I'm waiting on that, and we can at least get some other world battle going. But before we do that, if you guys are not aware, both Phyla-Vell and Nova are part of the Guardians of the Galaxy Team Up collection, bringing the grand total of tier 4s in this Team Up collection to 7 or 8, because I think I do believe Groot is tier 4able. Yeah. And then so is Gamora. I don't think Rocket is. I could be wrong about that. Yeah, so Rocket is still trapped at tier 3. I know Drax is not tier 4able. Star-Lord was one of the first members of the Guardians to get his tier 4. And then of course you have Adam, Beta Ray Bill, who we know are tier 4. Now Quasar Wendell Vaughn, interestingly enough, fairly newer. I love the inside of this cape. Has such a dope design. I'm glad they brought that back. But the value of this is really going to depend on, you know, if Nova is really, really, really good, like as a DPS, you know, slash self-buffing lead sort of situation. If Phyla-Vell is really good as a DPS and they enhance her support capabilities, I don't know. You could be looking at a really, really solid team-up collection in the Guardians. Gamora is still okay. Groot is a kind of somewhat decent support, but his uniform is trapped behind a seasonal. And I don't think he's very good in it. So, you know, not a lot of value outside of his support. There is Star-Lord in this uniform. Not a terrible DPS, but not at the top of the meta. But very, very serviceable. So, you know, he's no slouch by any means. Kind of squishy, but that's kind of always been an issue with him. You know, is it going to be the strongest team-up collection in the game? Probably not, because you still have a really dated uniform with Adam Warlock, but he's still top PvP meta. You know, top 5, definitely. You do have to kind of think about these sort of things because, you know, so, oh God, what is her name? Madeline Pryor kind of came in and she's sort of getting some of that shine for the need of a blast type character for PvP. So for that type advantage, the same sort of type advantage that you would get from an Adam Warlock. And it's not all down to the type advantage. There are other similarities too. He has a revive. She has the undead passive. He's 6,000 crystals. She's, you know, 7, almost 8,000 crystals. Plus you need her artifact, plus a seasonal uniform. So they're a seasonal paywall uniform at that. So there are a lot of caveats there. And then Beta Ray Bill, really solid as far as a DPS in his own right. Really good leadership, really good support. And he offers two different types of elemental damage. So whether you need fire damage or whether you need lightning damage, you can kind of get that. Of course, that is in lieu of removing the uniform. So there is that caveat. So you would gain lightning damage but lose flame damage and the support. So it's kind of a niche sort of situation, really. Yeah. So yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy team up collection is probably gonna gain a little bit in value. You have a tier 4 Groot in here. I know he's just a sort of niche support. You also have Gamora in here, who is a solid DPS, along with Star-Lord, who is a solid DPS, along with Mantis, who, for an Awakened character, has surprisingly good damage in this uniform and the support. You got top 5 PvP meta, arguably in Adam Warlock, still. You have a very, very serviceable universal type in Beta Ray Bill, who also offers lead and support capabilities in this uniform. And even without it, he offers at the minimum a lightning lead. In this uniform, it's a flame lead with the support. So you do lose the support passive without the uniform. That is kind of a drawback. I kind of, this is where the artifact system kind of shines over, uniform passives and whatnot, right? Because say if this was on his artifact instead, he would always have access to this, uniform or no. So I think that's something they should possibly consider. But yeah, still a solid lead slash DPS slash support nonetheless. I do think his damage is probably better than Black Bolt's at this point. Also, I should test those guys kind of head to head, but I have a feeling that Beta Ray Bill would outperform Black Bolt in a lot of cases and instances. Just based on what I was witnessing with him at awakened in tier 3. Um, so yeah, Phyla getting a new uniform. Hopefully they build on this support. She does offer all attack and increase of skill damage, bonus damage. I don't think that's enough these days. I think they're gonna have to do more for her. The energy defense, it's kind of meh. Like I said, they're gonna have to do something for her. She doesn't have a uniform. She does have an artifact already that offers superhero and supervillain damage dealt. If they made that thing for all allies, that would be dope. But they rarely do that. Or, if they want to switch it up and move all of that other support to the artifact, I don't know. People would probably be pissed off about that. See, that's the thing. When you start thinking about balancing, you have to also take into consideration what the player base already has access to, because you don't want to go to the point of like, if they did that, they should like give everybody like a 4 or 5-star version of her artifact for free. You know what I mean? Because you're taking something that the character had already and then you're making it restricted to some players. Not cool. You know what I mean? So that would be a good solution to sort of remedy that. And then if you just come in after the fact, you just, come in after the fact, but everybody else was kind of grandfathered in at least. And I wouldn't make it a selector situation. I wouldn't do that. I would just be like, here, for this character, inbox, push here. Everybody has one. I don't want to hear your mouth. I mean, it's not like she's a paywall character anyway. So, not really that big of a deal. Oh, she is a paywall character. And she's a shifter. Okay, so you get her from, I think, because it's her and Nova, right? And Nova's the free one, and I think you spin the crystals and get Phyla or some shit. I don't know. It's been so long since I unlocked her. That's the other thing. Oh no, Richard Ryder was the 6,600 crystal. Beta Ray Bill was the free-to-play player. Free-to-play character. And then she was the shifter. That's what it was. Yep, because she's in the first slot. That's what it was. Okay. Phew. Okay, who do we got? A tier 2 selector. 4. Too bad this won't work on a premium character. I don't even think this will work on Phyla. Yeah, if it won't work on Exodus, it won't work on her. Yep. Trying to think whose uniform is not mythic. I know hers isn't. Wait a minute. Whose uniform do I actually need to mythic? What happened to the... Gonna take me smooth out the team up collection, eh? Okay, those are already done. Out of 17 uniforms, 13 of them have to be heroic. Oh, cool. Oh, well, I can upgrade this one that I'm in. Now, please don't use that. And where is Peter Quill? The Star-Lord. The who? Is it who? Shit. So y'all going for in the Super Bowl, man. Oh, those are not blast types. There he is. 384. I'm gonna need a few more than that. Piece. Okay, we'll chill out. That should be enough. Yeah, heroic. That is exactly what I need. Let's pick these up as well. And we'll come back with some XP chips. But for now, let's go ahead and run these. Whilst we chop it up. Okay, let's bring that over. let's see. Let's check this one out right quick. Oh yeah, that was just a walk-up pan around. I mean, but the characters were actually moving. And that was definitely a mid-month. So I can't even pop that out. Let me see what it do. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's all that sneak peek was. It's like old shanty town. A lot of people were fucking tripping on the rendering in the background and shit. The modeling of the characters was okay. And the both of them, you know, as far as DPS, I think were kind of underrated. So, yeah, I mean, they finally got Gamora right a little bit, but yeah, it is what it is. That's nothing um on this sneak peek that we just got. You know what I mean? Like by far and away. You know, this wasn't that either. I mean, you got Apocalypse sitting on the throne. He's got a little bit of animation to him. You know what I mean? It's not him actually out there putting it down. You know what I mean? It was just, are we gonna do a really long away zoom from, you know, yeah, you can see him or whatever. I mean, yeah, that was dope, but you know, it wasn't anything terribly complicated. It wasn't, you know, interaction with other characters. This sneak peek that we got from you know, this one that we got from the joint on this go round, it seems more like a it seems more like a game mode, honestly. You know what I mean? And if it is, that would be dope. That would be absolutely dope. Um, you know, if you haven't been over to the post for the channel, for this channel, head on over there because we have posted. Let me get that pulled up, but we've posted a little small trivia, some of which was based on the data mine, and then some of it was kind of just, you know, let me throw some ideas in here. You know, let me throw my little deal in the hat. Um, will go back because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. I don't think I have. But we'll show you guys. We'll go over to the post tab for the channel and participate in some of this trivia that I got. Not trivia, some of this polling that I got going on right now. So which character would you like to see as a giant boss raid, right? And we only got 4 votes. You know, we a small channel, so small sample size. But people are 50-50 on Shumagarath and Onslaught early on, which is surprising, honestly. We also included Blackheart, of course. Now, all 4 of these guys, as far as the data mine stuff, and let me get that pulled up too, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Yeah. Okay, I'm on that. Cool. So if you go over to Thanos Vibes, they have a poll that, you know, they're saying got data mined. Right? Now some of these questions are straight off of that poll. Right? Some of them are not. So, and we only did like 5, but I got some more coming, right? So I said, you know what? Let's cook. So this is the poll. Now if you come over here, is there a giant boss raid you would like to see added? Right? And you got, now YouTube only lets you pick 4 for your particular polling purposes. But you see they have Ego the Living Planet, Blackheart, Onslaught, Shumagarath, Sidorak, Chaos King, and Aspirants, right? Now these 4 that I chose, they're straight off that list. And as far as I'm concerned, those are the best 4. There are a few more that I could kind of throw in there. Clyde Wincham. You know, he did come to mind. I ain't gonna lie, the Marquis of Death. But I said, well, let's keep it light. Let's keep it light. Let's keep it light, right? So I chose these 4 guys, right? And I have absolutely no problem with none of them. You know what I mean? As a giant boss. The only thing is, not all of the giant boss raid characters are playable, whereas all of the world bosses are. But I'll be the first to tell you, and a lot of players will too, if they had a choice in you know, they could only choose one sort of situation, you know, you can get one brought to the game, but only one. Which one you choosing? World boss or giant boss raid? Most people would choose giant boss raid, right? There are so few of them. We got a ton of world bosses, even though the characters would be playable almost as a guarantee as a world boss. If you go over here and you look at giant boss raid, you know, only one of the 3 are playable. Yeah, we can play with Sentinels, who you could argue is kind of that, but that's not master mode. Galactus isn't playable. Okay. And neither, you know, we do have Dormammu, but he's not that good of a character. in game has been long since surpassed. So yeah, we chose those four: Sidorak, Shuma, Onslaught, and Blackheart. Those four only made the most sense. And to be honest, those probably would have been the four that even if they didn't make the list, I'd have been like, yeah, no. Where is Sidorak? Where the hell is Blackheart? Where in the fuck is Shuma? Right? This is where I would come from with it. So, Onslaught would probably be the one that I'd be like, yeah, I know a lot of players would want to have him. Me personally, it's like, okay. It's cool and all, right? Now, they did have something along these lines in that poll. I kind of worded it differently. And I think I chose a few different game modes as well. Which game mode would you like to see get nixed, right? And rewards rolled over to other game modes. Dispatch mission, dimension missions, world event, or dimension rifts. Surprisingly, right? And this one got the most votes. Honestly, it got 8 votes so far. So most people are choosing dimension rifts. I was surprised. I'm flabbergasted. But it is a huge, huge time sink when you think about it. You have to run it for 30 minutes in order to get the most out of the game mode. It's also a huge energy sink. Whereas, and there's no difficulty to it. Nobody's picking dispatch, right? Dispatch can be time consuming, yeah. But there is a progression to it, there is a difficulty to it, there is a strategy to the game mode. So people tend to enjoy it. It has actual controls. You're just not throwing them in there on autoplay. Okay? So it's not mind-numbing experience. Dimension Rifts, one difficulty, is not too hard. I mean, yeah, it does have the mythic setting and all of this, but once you get to a certain level, as far as your cards and such are concerned, it's really just, throw your characters in there and go get your rewards, right? And I said this a while ago. The whole purpose of a game is to play it. You know what I mean? If it's just sitting here looking back at me, I'm looking at it, but there's no interaction, what are we doing? What are we doing? So it seems that players agree. And that is what this is indicative of. Right? It's not because I put time consuming here or limited shine, you know what I mean, as far as the characters are concerned. They picked dimension rifts over world event. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. You can say small sample size, 8 votes, all of this. Okay, I give you that. We a small channel. What do you expect? I just think that these numbers would not change very much. I don't think they change very much if 1,000 people voted. If 10,000 people voted. You may get more leaning into this. I don't think it would be very much leaning into this. You may get some leaning into dimension missions. But this is telling. I mean, I mean, you tell me if I got the titling wrong. You know, I mean, limited shine for a character for glaze for yourself. You know what I mean? Um, time consuming, but they really are. Even though there is a progression to it, I didn't want to label this as something else because I didn't want to make it seem like I'm giving Dispatch shine over anything else. You know what I mean? Um, this is an energy sink. I could have said, limited rewards, but I mean, you can get a P card out of this thing. You can get a CTP out of this thing. The possibilities could be increased for the amount of time that people put into this, but yeah. Moving right along, which PvP game mode let me get that centered. Which PvP game mode would you like to see a revival for? 5 votes and 80-20, so 4-1. Danger Room Extreme. It never released, so seems like a lot of people that actually had access to both of these game modes. I mean, if you had access to Danger Room, then you played Squad Battle as well, as long as you didn't take a break, right? So yeah, it looked like some people want to see Danger Room Extreme make a comeback. I wonder what this would look like if it was more pronounced as far as the votes. But yeah. This one I kind of had a hard time with. Would you like to see manual gameplay for these PvP game modes? Just come down here and drop a comment. Is kind of the way that this one is gonna work. You just come down here and drop a comment on the comment tab. Yes or no. I suppose I can leave that in there. So we'll edit that. And then would you like to see a multiplayer story? Would you like to see an option for multiplayer story gameplay? Right? Not saying that you have to participate. You can still run through it regular. But if you want to do multiplayer in there, it being optional, 4 votes, but everybody's saying yes to this one, which is interesting because I posed this question over on the forum and we'll get into that. So this one I really like. So, and this is your boy right here. Which World Boss Legend Plus would you like to see come next? Right? And if we go over here to the survey that was dropped, they don't say anything in here about a world boss, but some of these characters do appear as far as like, please choose a hero or villain that you would want to see a uniform for. Please choose a hero or villain you would like to see added to the game, right? We didn't get into that, okay? Because I can kind of go there. But you see Annihilus is on this list. Galactus is on this list. Cloak and Dagger is on this list. I kind of want to cook some more with this. And this one may be like a 2 or 3 part survey. And then I'll take the winners of those and then we'll compile a new survey. Yeah, that would work. We did like a 4 part and then I took the winners of each 4 and compile them down. And then I'll take the top 2. I'll take the top 2 from each survey. And then from 4, we can break it down to 2. And then the winners of those 2, we can do a head-to-head sort of thing. Or that'll give us at least 4 characters or 2 characters. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll work the numbers. Um, let's see. Please choose a hero or villain, but nothing in here about a world boss, giant boss. Well, it was the giant boss question, but nothing about a world boss, right? Legend plus difficulty. So I've decided to kind of come at it that way. You know what I mean? Adding the caveat. Which world boss legend plus, and this goes back to the premise of when we first started with the giant boss raids, right? But which world boss legend plus would you like to see next? P.S. Please keep in mind, all world bosses are playable characters as well. Cheers, right? 4 votes. I figured this one would get more than that, but that also is kind of telling because it's letting you know people really don't want to see a new world boss. People aren't really interested in seeing a new world boss. Not as much as they are interested in, say, what was this? Quality of life changes, game mode fixes, game mode upgrades. We didn't even get into PvP real deep. You know what I mean? As far as like PvP fixes and this sort of stuff. So yeah, back up here. We got Chthon, ruler of the other realm, Bastion, born of the siege, perilous. I figured that. I was trying to come up with monikers for these guys. So yeah, that were accurate. Gotg, the only entity Odin fears, which is kind of true. This guy right here, Gotg, he is a whole hosh, bro. This dude eats Odin force like it's ridiculous. And then you got my guy Annihilus down here, king of the negative zone. So yeah. And then you only got so many letters you can use in here, so it wasn't like I could prattle off. You know what I mean? So yeah, 50-50 on this guy. A lot of people wanting to see Bastion. Cannot blame him. I think he should come as a standalone character aside from Sentinel. And in this way we could have a team up, right? That makes sense, especially if they ever make, Master Mode a playable character, or they give us some sort of Prime Sentinel, or oh god, what is that guy's name? Or if this guy ever gets an upgrade, because he is a Sentinel as well. So a lot of people kind of forget that, but this guy is a mutant. He does have the Weapon Master tagging, but what is it? He doesn't have an artifact. I believe it's in his bio. Yeah. Developed by the Weapon Plus program, Phantom X is an artificially evolved, technologically advanced mutant. His enhanced systems and cunning in misdirection make him a highly effective operative. His primary nervous system is detachable techno organism called Eva. They must have went in and reworked this guy's bio. Yeah. Weapon 8 passive. Yeah, increased basic damage dealt to mutant characters by 65%. Yeah, I think somewhere along his backstory, a lot of that technology is based on Sentinel technology. And I think he was originally created like in that sort of vein. So if they decide to give this guy a Sentinel tag moving forward, or if they make that some sort of tagging, you know, along with adding Bastion, yeah, it would be machine tag. And I'm not sure if they would give him the machine tag. This guy has no gender, universal other, destructive, and pure evil. So he's not going to get the destruction of the pure evil or the supervillain tag, more than likely. Closest they would probably do is giving him the machine tag so you can take advantage of technokinetic passives. Yeah. So I knew it was some similarity there. So, I mean, that would be at least interesting if they decided to do that as far as the whole Bastion thing is concerned. The other thing too is with Chthon. You know, famously, I think when about the WandaVision series, and the guy didn't know, or the lady that was writing it didn't know who Chthon was. So, you know, I figured that would be interesting, especially if we got like, and honestly, Chthon and Sidorak would kind of be interchangeable in terms of like a world boss, giant boss raid sort of situation. You could honestly do either or. I think Sidorak makes more sense as a giant boss raid. But you know, they can both change sizes and this sort of thing. I also thought the same thing about Gotg as a giant boss raid as well. But I would really like to get my hands on playing that guy. And if they made him like a PvP mercenary sort of situation, I would not be upset at all. The other thing too is, I know as far as Annihilus, a lot of people are, well, giant boss raid Annihilus. But think about it. Like I said, if this guy comes to the game, and he comes to the game as a world boss, he's probably, all of these guys would probably be native tier 3, right? No surprises there. But then the other thing is, they would actually be playable. You would have a possibility of farming their artifacts, and if they're really good or necessary for the character, then you have that option available to you. So you got to kind of be careful on who you ask for and where you ask for them. You know what I mean? Just trying to think about this with some sort of strategy in mind moving forward, as opposed to just, you know, haphazardly you know, throwing characters, seeing what sticks sort of situation. Okay. Wait a minute. I say I just got some of them things, didn't I? All right. Now we bought out all the carbo, huh? Cool. Got some souls. Ring battle. We will catch in just a second. We'll catch that in just a second while we kind of keep piecing this apart. Yeah, I also kind of feel like there's been this rush to tier 4. A lot of characters. I didn't want to say this too early, but yeah, I kind of feel like they're pushing for tier 5 by the anniversary. So if you thought you were going to be able to, you know, buy yourself another 6 months by waiting until Black Friday or something like that, I don't think that's really going to be realistic. Or another eight months, I guess. 8-9 months, something like that. Yeah, I don't think that's really going to be realistic. I think it's probably going to be more along the lines of the anniversary, unfortunately. Now, hopefully, they give out a bunch of crystals this year the same way that they did last year. I think that would be amazing if they did that. But I'm not looking for it, you know. I don't think it's guaranteed. And honestly, I don't think that they will do that 2 years in a row. Like, oh, year 11,000 crystals to the player, but I don't think that's realistic. But it did see a huge influx of players. I don't think those players spent money though. You know what I mean? I think a lot of that influx of players came, picked up their crystals, played around for a few months or a few weeks or whatever. They probably saw a little bit of, you know, stick around from that, but I don't think it was anything like meaningful. And as much as they dropped the ball last year in terms of certain characters, like characters like Apocalypse, Doc Doom, by and large, really didn't start to receive a lot of their value until game modes like Otherworld Battle, and more specifically Battle World, hit the scene. But the problem with those is you can't play. They had Battle World already, and I keep calling this shit Battle World. They had Otherworld Battle already in the form of Battle World. The only difference was you didn't have the buffs and you could control the characters. Why not just bring that, re-implement, you know, being able to control your characters again? Right? especially in Team Battle Arena. Yeah, I could see maybe if you didn't do it for Otherworld Battle, but for Team Battle Arena, you definitely have to. Because, I mean, there are no battlefield buffs or any of this sort of stuff. And the other thing, too, that they should do with Team Battle Arena is implement the dealer tag. When selecting teams, they have it everywhere else, right? And then this will give players the opportunity to be able to line characters up where they want them more easily. You know what I mean? Because that makes a difference. So, I don't know. Y'all tell me. What do y'all think? Hmm? What do you think? Yeah, I'm gonna be heading to the Super Bowl party here in a little bit, going and hanging out with my brother-in-law. We're gonna be pulling for them Seahawks, baby. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but my birds ain't in there, so I figured, hey, I might as well rock with a fella bird. You know what I mean? Plus, I would like to see Sam Darnold prove everybody like he can do this. You know what I mean? That would be dope. If he can prove to everybody, yeah, I can. Man, look, I give him this. He's a gunslinger. Right? He reminds me a lot of Brett Favre, not in the away from football situational bullshit. Like he's a shitty person, I think. But from a play perspective, right? From a gameplay perspective, yeah, Darnold reminds me a lot of Favre. Like he can get up there, he can throw in a pick or even a pick six, right? And get back out there and throw 2 touchdowns. He's got a really, really, really short memory and he has no fear. That's a good combination to have in a quarterback. Can it work against you sometimes? Yeah, sure. But he gonna play into that whistle blow. So, I can't fault him for that. Not at all. I can't fault any player for that. And honestly, a lot of his bad decisions don't come from they come from usually when he's under some sort of duress, right? You'll see that. But if everything is, you know, you don't see him making a lot of bad plays with a clean pocket. If you're making bad plays with a clean pocket, then that's another problem. If you're holding on to the ball so long that the pocket is starting to get muddied, that's another problem. kind of a self-inflicted wound. You know what I mean? And then it becomes a question of, well, who put you in that position? Was it you? Was it the OC? Was it like we got to get this ironed out and figured out? Nick Sirianni. I'm sorry, I still got PTSD. Shit. Oh yeah, there is some tier 4 stuff in here. Let's go get this right quick, and then we'll go do some Otherworld. I mean, not Otherworld. We just did that. I can't take none of that because I do not have a tier 4. I don't even have a level 80. So let's see what I can do. Okay, so that 4 will attack me with the iframe. As long as it ain't a purple attack. Damn it. But let it rock out and see if it makes a difference. Nope, I don't think it should at this point. Oh, that was nasty. Or spun around with it. Now I'm kind of interested on. I pulled that off. That was pretty nasty. Oh, it's off of the awaken skill. Okay. It's off of the awaken skill. He'll spin with it. If you wait, yeah, if you do it too early, then you'll never see it. But if you wait until he blasts with the awaken skill and then hit the 4, he'll do a little spin with it. That's actually a pretty cool little mechanic Um, I don't know if it makes a difference here or there, but I always like finesse. You know what I mean? Um, that's just me. And whether it makes a practical difference in game for a game like this is another story. But for me, a little flair, a little finesse, right? You ought to see your boy on the Spider-Man series. The finesse game is absolutely stupendous. We'll do it one day. Um, then you'll see me finesse whooping ass on another level. But yeah, we'll talk about that. No, we don't want to do the banner link. We'll do that another way. Yeah, because I don't think we have any boost points either. Nope. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll use Thor. We'll save. What I get kicked for? Yeah, we'll save. We'll save my guy. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Okay, somebody else is moving the needle. Oh, hope he just didn't get clapped. Okay, that's Doc Strange. Okay. Okay. We got a little bit of help. That's all right. That's all right, man. Mm-hmm. There it is. Yeah, Strange took that, but we good. Oh, I was finna say, this dude ain't finna walk back out here, is he? He ain't bugging out, is he? Okay. Let's get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Not necessarily, bro. Not if you update your device. Yeah, dude was like a multiplayer game, a multiplayer story mode would be the definition of a game mode that crashes constantly. I'm like, yeah, if your device is an older device, then yeah, probably. Update your device. I mean, that's a thing that's like kind of out of folks' control by and large. That's a lot that goes into it. A lot of it's older technology getting phased out, whether it's on purpose or not. Um, so I get it, but at the same time, you still gotta do that. You know what I mean? You're out here on, a device that's 6, 7, 8 years old, and it's steady crashing. That's why it's steady crashing. So there's not a whole lot that can be done about that. I know I was that player at some point. Them old ass videos that I have on this channel, I was playing on an old busted ass LG. Right? I mean, trust me, I feel your pain. When I unlocked Silver Surfer, I unlocked him on that device. I used to crash all the time in GBR. Used to crash all the time in Danger Room. Right? And this is Galactus. When he first dropped, Master Mode. All of this. To me, this yeah, I still see problems and stuff with iPhone. Don't get me wrong. I kind of have an idea on a device, a completely separate standalone device that I want specifically for this. I'm just waiting to get it. I'm waiting to see if they come out with an upgrade for it or anything like that, and then I'm gonna rock that joker. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah. Yeah, that is exactly what that is. So let me go grab a drink right quick while I let this run. And I'm not gonna be right back. I'm gonna keep chopping it up. Just don't be surprised if y'all hear something in the background. It's just your boy or your boy's fam. Yeah, the Super Bowl start around 5 something. I do believe. So I'm gonna go turn up because I gotta go to work tomorrow and I gotta deal with a bunch of bullshit. I know I do. because it's going to be a Monday, and it's going to be the Monday after the Super Bowl. Folks gonna been and gambled and lost money and all of this sort of stuff. They're gonna come in with attitudes, so don't be, you know. I'm just saying. It's like the Monday after a Mayweather fight or something. Man, I done. Yeah, well, you shouldn't have bet against him. He told you what he was gonna do. He been showing you for years. What you don't believe him? Okay, just let me get situated right quick. Get my headset back on. This thing that got all tangled up. Like that. There we go. There we go. Much better. What we looking like? Okay, yeah, we got plenty of juice and plenty of goose. So yeah, we'll let's see. This is the survey that we dropped. Of course, we dropped the link to the, and I hate how they deactivated links like this when it's clearly like a YouTube channel or whatever. But you got would you like to see a multiplayer story mode? Yes or no? A couple of people said no, which is interesting because everybody on the channel said yeah. So, you know, you go over here to the forum and it's a little bit different. We didn't ask the questions about the characters though. Would you like to see manual gameplay for TBA and or Otherworld battle? This was interesting. Got a yes both, and I got a no for both. So kind of interesting on that. And then I gave 6 answers in total for this one. Like, that way we can kind of differentiate, right? So it's either yes or no for both. You know what I mean? Which is kind of interesting. You can only get one selection, right? Actually, I should have made this 2 selections, but it's kind of hard because I don't know. Maybe I should reword this or something, and maybe that kind of threw people off. But you get where I'm going. You know what I mean? But it was like yes for both, no for both. Yes for TBA, no for TBA, and then yes for Otherworld, no for Otherworld, right? But neither of those even got votes, so don't really matter. And then which PvP game mode would you like to see make a comeback? This one was 50-50. So kind of a little different, interesting perspective, a little bit. So, you know, go visit your boy on the forum. all of this sort of stuff. I also posted links to all of these on the Discord as well. So you can find them there. Now, I couldn't, like, share it with a wider, more broader community more efficiently because some of them limit the amount of postage and links and stuff like that. So, kind of wish there was a way that I could compile it all together as a list to a link to a page that was active to where they could, get in here and handle their business. Kind of like this, I guess, but I don't know. The interactivity here is not as good as I would like it, so I'll look for solutions. But for now, that's what I gotta do. It is what it is. Now, as far as what I think about Nova and Phyla-Vell, as far as just characters unto themselves, I think they could both fit that lead / support in Nova's case, or just a banger support in Phyla-Vell's case. The question is, like, would Nova be viable in PvP? I think it would be amazing if he were. He does have iframe ignore already built into his kit. He already has penetration built into his kit. And with the lead support value, or at the very minimum, the support value, I think they should expand on that a little bit to kind of help out his defenses in PvP. And then with Phyla-Vell, I'm not sure if they can give her immortality or anything like that. And I don't know if I would want them to. It's high time that characters that don't have immortality or a revive are able to compete in PvP game modes. It's high time that comeback begins. And Sentinel characters like Destroyer, to a sort of lesser degree, are good examples of that. Emma's uniform was kind of supposed to help with that sort of thing. Didn't really land as good as it did or should have. Thanos sort of needs a buff at this point. This guy getting a tier 4 would be interesting because he has really good survivability at tier 3, level 70, and is able to compete in a lot of arena in PvP given the right situation and circumstance. So I would be really interested to see what happens if Strife ever gets a tier 4. Might as well. Let's see. Increase of HP, really? And least that's crit rate, crit damage. At least that's some kind of damage. I'll have to take, probably have to take Spidey in there. I don't think, is Cho tier 4? He isn't. Yeah, not to do with Spidey. I thought Cho got his tier 4 though. He didn't. He did not, because he would have, because the button would be there. Yeah, he didn't, because the button would be there. Okay, so yeah, there is a legit case to be made, at least as far as Nova is concerned, to be a good PvP character. As far as Phyla-Vell, I don't think that they'll go that route. I think they'll lean her more so into PvE, if anything. Is there a new ABX, ABL, see something. Yeah, this shit doesn't even apply anymore. Yeah, this shit here doesn't even apply anymore. Oh, wait a minute. He did update it. Yeah. Shit's up about around 28. Nice. Okay. Speed female and blast villain. Yeah, I can use this. Hmm. I did the whole switch just for that laugh. Gonna finish it off with it. He didn't score the 210 though, so that kind of sucks. Last villain, yeah. Something ain't right. Yep. Okay. So that's the issue. Okay. All of these. Yeah, of course y'all passing out goodies now. See? They just love the jug, don't they? Oh, invincibility, huh? 3 seconds. But only 3 seconds. Huh. Okay. No, we don't want to do it that way. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of them. Oh, didn't want to do that. Oh, I'm out. Okay. Okay, I like that a little bit better. Do all that screen switching and shit. Only because I need rerolls. That is the whole reason. Oh, shit. That I'm doing this. Catch that other one here in a second. Man, what? That was weird. Oh, I used the rest of my 4 stars. Fuck. Okay. That's cool. It's whatever. Those aren't terribly difficult to get. Okay. So we'll change the option. On this guy. And you rolled to 60% 0.9. You rolled the fucking all attack prop. What, are you stuck on all attack, bro? It's absolutely nuts. What the hell, bro? Why is this shit only rolling fucking all attack? The hell is this shit? Finally. But it rolls fucking 0.5. This is bullshit. Okay, let me try the other one because this point, at least this one has better stats, even though it's 0.5. So let me at least try this one. See if I can get something a little bit better than 0.5, I guess. The fuck is this bullshit? Fucking 30 times in a row. And here we go again. Oh, you want some more auto attack, auto defense? Hell no. Give me some other book. Like, what the fuck? I'll attack, auto defense? Like, they need to... This shit is so frustrating, bro. You get everything you want at the bottom, and the top be fucked up. And then they flip it. Like, what the hell? That's actually pretty good, but fuck it. This shit ain't nothing. We'll get rid of that. 200.5. It'd be nice if they were 0.9. We'll work on them, but we'll give Strange the 200 joint. let's get this out of the way. I did not realize, and I want to be able to come in here and pick up rewards. At least see, oh yeah, and we can go to the shop too. I think I already got. No, I didn't. Okay. So I need to go in there as well. And let's see here. Yeah, the zombie joint. Okay. Hmm? Yeah, and we can run this joint today and go pick up the carbo as well. So that's gonna be very nice. You know what? Yeah, we can jump in with you, Grimy. Although I'm on reserve a powerhouse because gotta rethink some of these. Oh, those ain't my teams. Haha, haha. Sure. Yeah. What's happening? What's happening? Man, just chilling for a little bit before I go do these Super Bowl things, man. That's all. Gotta look at that sneak peek and was like, okay, y'all cooking, but yeah, it's one thing to glaze the sneak peek team and, give them their praise and all of this stuff. It's another for the developmental team to follow through on that great marketing, right? So they kind of piss me off with that shit a lot of times. You know what I mean? Truth be told. Like, if the sneak peek was bomb and amazing, and, we got a good game mode, we got a good couple of characters, right? And even with the quote unquote bad characters, it's not that they're bad, they're just not at the top of the meta, but they're usable. I could live with an update like that. I think most of the community could live with an update like that. They would consider it I would consider it a great update. I ain't gonna speak for nobody else, but So let me kind of rewind that a little bit, but yeah. That would be my thoughts. You know what I mean? And I can't be mad at nothing like that. Let's see. TBA is still going on. There is more carbo and life seed there, but let's go ahead and whoa. I don't know if we there yet, but let's go put a good team together. Who's restricted? Universal character. So no Mephisto and none of them. You just gotta make do, baby. So Storm and Rogue it is. Alternatively, I could probably do Hulk and Wolverine. Oh, yeah. He does have an energy on him right now. Let's see what's cracking. So almost certainly Dazzler, Beast, and all of them support. How much HP is Beast given? 45 with the ignore dodge. Uniform. Nobody has an artifact. That's damage to boss types. There's America Chavez. Nobody's reflecting. So that really doesn't matter. Her lead doesn't matter. Mighty would apply. Also, Dazzler has the mighty. Okay. So superhero allies, though. Hulk's not going to be able to take advantage of a lot of that. See, this is where the parent gets kind of complicated. Oh, wait a minute. That applies to all allies. The lead don't matter. Hold up. Maybe we can cook up something else. Super. Damn it. And that will get a buff as well. Take advantage of that HP bump. That would be insane. This is just gamma radiation types. He doesn't have anything to increase his HP. So maybe we take Dazzler out. Leave her in because she's got to live. Throw Beast in there for the HP bump. Huh. Trying to think of somebody that gives HP, but then also gives damage to superheroes and supervillains. Ooh. I got another idea actually. It's kind of wild. And I don't think it's gonna matter because I don't think I'm gonna have a Pierce. And Wolverine's artifact just got triggered. So he can get clapped at any time now. We're not even a minute in. See, if my PvP card set had more Pierce, I would probably switch to that because it has the triple HP proc. And that would make Hulk's damage just oof. Yeah. 42 seconds in. Would have been amazing if they'd have been able to pull that off though. Let's see. Yeah, the ignorant dodge is still useful. I don't think the damage to boss types only works on like one character in here. I don't think it works on everybody, so we'll see. But this should be easy pickings for Storm and Rogue, honestly. Am I doing anything for the Super Bowl? What's going on, Bubba? Actually, I'm going over to my brother-in-law's spot, and I'm gonna chill with him and my wife and his kids, my kid, or our kid. You know what I mean? We won it last year. We birds, so you know we didn't make it. So I say, well, if my brother-in-law's team can win, I'm cool with that. Long as it ain't the Cowboys. We good. Long as it ain't the Cowboys. Damn, they failed. Yeah, I guess 4 is just too much. Not to be playing on auto, I guess. Pretty sure they should be able to comfortably do 3. Oh, wait a minute. So Storm doesn't have her 5. She doesn't have a heal. Oh. No wonder. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting right here. Like, unless Dazzler comes out and strikes, and specifically with her 3rd skill, Storm doesn't have any means of. And I normally take that into account. That would make sense too, because, okay, so Wolverine and Hulk did not have access to their highest DPS and skills. Damn, I gotta think about this team. What all the characters are missing. Storm still has her hardest hitting skills in her 4 and her 5. In her 4 and her tier 3, but she's missing. I think the 5 has a frenzy buff of some kind. The tier 3 has the accumulation, and then the 5 also has a heal. Maybe a bit of iframe and that sort of thing, but yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. Without a heal. No. Okay, we're gonna have to switch this up. Oh. Or not. We'll let this ride for a second. While I go refresh my coffee. Be right back. Matter of fact, no, we ain't gonna be right back. We just gonna pull a clip on. Matter of fact, we ain't gonna clip it on. We just gonna hold it. And let that thing run on auto. Not a whole lot I can do if it crashes, of course, because we're hardwired now, but dog snores when he sleeps, y'all. Loud. That shit is fucking hilarious. Need to get his ass some breathe right strips. Yeah. I just hope it's an entertaining game. I don't really have a dog in the fight, but you know. Like, I don't think the Seahawks and the Eagles, I don't think they've played each other very much. I know the Seahawks used to be in the AFC years and years ago. So they definitely haven't had much of an opportunity to meet. We got our ass whooped again. Okay. And we gotta get Storm out of there. Hold on. Sorry. Reconnected. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Her main DPS is on her 5 as well. So we can't use Psylocke, even though she would be a good pick. Could use Venom. Has an auto heal. Majority of his DPS being on the 4. Let's try that. I know her liberation isn't gonna apply because of Fury, but that increase all buffs will. Hopefully that includes buffs from CTPs and all of this sort of stuff. Hopefully. Okay. Yeah, Storm not having a heal. It's too much pressure on the team. She's squishy enough as it is. Yeah, the only problem really with zombie survival is you only have to play it like 5 times a week. Like if they made it like a daily thing, not once a day, 5 times a day, like, you know. But like something that we had to play daily, I think that would be way better. I mean, because honestly, you run this thing 5 times and then you call it a day. Mission complete, you know what I mean? And it's a really good game mode. It does force you to think about characters. Even if you want to play it on manual, it'll force you to like, I guess, kind of understand the mechanics of the character a little better. Give me some cool down time. Appreciate that. Already hit him up, Thor. My guy straight ran him over. Already. Love it. Gotta love it. So yeah, even if you want to play it on manual, it forces you to work around mechanics and actually think through the character. You know what I mean? Where are the characters' iframes? How long are they? It also gives you a chance to appreciate the character's skills. Um, the character skills. So for that, you know what I mean? I think they hit the nail on the head. You know, 8, possibly 9 out of 10. The only drawbacks were really that not able to play it enough, and then the multiplayer aspect that it was supposed to drop with still hasn't been seen. So if it weren't for those two things, actually let's see if we can do 4 on auto, because 3 is pretty comfortable. So we'll see how this works out. Ooh. and so did Rogue, so it's a wrap. Yeah. Try this thing on manual and see if we can fare better than the CPU. Yeah, I don't know why they insist on starting you out with your skills on cooldown. That is stupid. Like, you're already robbing of a skill. Why start with... Is that a bug or something? I didn't notice that before. Okay. Either that or all of the skills were used before I could take the character off of auto. It's one of the two. But when I took them off auto, all my skills were on cooldown, which is weird. For the next spawn. Still got clapped. Wow. I should have jumped out of that and then went to go get those healing things, but I don't think it would have been enough. Still had too much time on the clock. Okay, so we'll rock this out on auto on 3 since yeah, Venom and Rogue just don't look like they are as potent of a combination as I thought. I mean, you gotta think. You talking about two characters that have access at team up collections, and while my team up collections for both aren't maxed out, they aren't on 0, especially Rogue. Think she's part of the X-Force? I think. My symbiote team up collection is not as built up, but it is some Pierce coming from there. I think like 1 or 2% possibly. I think it maxes out at like 4 or 5%, something like that. So but yeah, man, y'all go check out the survey on the post. Leave me out comments, leave me out, you know, votes. And we'll compile some more of that stuff and leave it over on the forums and in the post and over on the Discord as well. You know, and hopefully we can build a voice that because listen, this is the thing. I remember a lot of the older surveys, right? Where they actually used to dig in, I guess, a lot more. And allow players to give detailed critique and feedback. One thing I can promise is that one, I'm not really gonna pay attention to a lot of meme shit. But then two, the stuff that actually is gonna add value to the game, I'll make sure I point it out, you know what I mean, on the channel, and hopefully they'll be able to, see it. Cause I mean, like I said, in the what was it, a couple live streams ago, are the devs watching? Well, if they are, then let's speak. Let's let our voice be heard, and let's let it be heard loudly. The other thing I can promise is, unless it's some inappropriate shit, I'm not gonna be removing any comments, anything like that. If you putting up shit that ain't got no goddamn business being there, of course, we gotta get rid of that. But yeah. Which I think all of those sort of comments are on hold for approval anyway, so and what I would like, and we'll structure the questions in this way, are detailed critiques, right? Like, what can be done realistically to improve Marvel Future Fight overall, right? Those sorts of questions. What can be done to improve timeline battles specific, right? I guarantee you one of the main things is going to be something along the lines of seeing the same exact characters over and over again. Noel, Sentry, now Kang, possibly Mephisto, Adam Warlock, Madeline Pryor on an off sort of chance, you know what I mean? And not enough variety. That's mainly the problem. Specifically in timeline battle. Not so much in the rest of the game modes, though. Crystals. And oops. And some Godstone. Not bad, not bad. Pick up some Carbo. Honestly, I don't even feel like shuffling matchups or none of that. I know it's more efficient that way, but I just kind of want to see how this is gonna play itself out. Not looking to win this first matchup, and actually Wolverine with the CTP of energy. Yeah, it was something I was trying out. It's not gonna stay there forever, so don't panic if you're a Wolverine fan saying, "Oh, I can't believe you have an energy on your Wolverine." It's just an experiment. And I wanted a decent enough sample size. Um, well, that's a loss. Maybe they're telling me I shouldn't be doing that whole thing without a real. Hey, you better rearrange your teams, boy. Um, maybe they're saying that. Take the thing off autoplay, bro. Definitely there. Hmm. She doesn't even have a CTP right now. So let's see. You're really gonna have to rethink team numero uno. Got a little something. Still got an energy on him. I mean, a judgment. Carnage, perhaps? Carnage will exceed it. Oh, because I already have another tier 2 native. This is really going to be an interesting choice then. I mean, Carnage would work if he wasn't on the so would Ghost Rider if they weren't on the increased cost list. And I don't feel like having to dodge a bunch of combat type teams. Hmm. Yeah, rather than look for one, let's just do support thing. Could give White Fox a Sentry and then give Coulson yeah. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I think that works better. Yep, he's over there blocking his surfer up with a combat type. That's what I was afraid of. I mean, if Strife can blast him down, he is level 80 tier 3, so let that take out the Wolverine team. Actually, we'll do that just in case. Just in case. Something's telling me. Just in case. But we honestly don't got that much longer before we have to get off and start getting ready. So, hey, what's going on? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. They're Mizra Muhammad. Or Mirzam. I don't know. Tell me what to call you, cause that's a lot. Mirza. But yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it really. Um, I try to keep fresh ideas out there. Wound up winning with that team too. So that's what's up. That's kind of interesting. I kind of like, you know what? I like you get down. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what this first team. I'll do this. Actually, let's do it. There we go. Not sure who the second team is. So we'll line them up like that. And my guy has a propensity for being able to deal with reflect, so we'll put Deadpool in at the end. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, you lost. Oh, wow. I did not expect that. Come on, can we pull it off? Wow. Are you serious? He gonna get me on the res. Oh, I actually pull off one. Okay. We'll see how this goes. This should be easy pickings for Kang. Oh, Sentinel's holding up. Okay. Wow. Wow. What the hell? Okay. Like the Hella thing wasn't even. Yeah, she's for superheroes, so. Yeah, I know Kang is tier 3. Still. That's a surprise. Crimson Dragon, huh? Maybe against Wolverine with the type advantage. Pull off some cheeky stuff. Should be able to dominate his symbiotes team with that. And then none of these guys are heroes, so I'm not worried about Madeline. Kang should be able to pull that off even at level 80. So yeah, we'll see about this fight. Hopefully we can get a comeback victory after that L. Yep, had the fuckery on me for the first round. That's cool. Okay. Okay. Easy pickings. I like easy. Easy pickings are amazing. Very much so. All right. So we up 2-1. And looks like my guy Sentry is going to bring it home here. Is he going to get him on the res? Wow, he's holding up. We might actually lose this. Wow. Okay. So 2-2. This one's for all the marbles here. Wolverine with the type advantage was not enough to pull it off against Madeline and Magic. So, yeah. Which I need better artifacts for both of them. Yeah, I definitely need better artifacts for both of them. See what we working with here. So he's front loading, huh? He's kind of spread out. I don't know if I like any of those matchups, honestly. For some reason. He's front loading as well, and with at least 3 tier 4s. or with at least 3 native tier 3s. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Yeah, he definitely on that goofy shit. These are some good teams. Okay, maybe we can take advantage of this. My guy has very subpar support, so maybe we can take advantage of both of those. And then yeah, we do something here. Dazzler support. That's interesting. Which means you're probably using a really strong CTP on her. Dazzler. Yeah. I'll bite. Last one. Last one. Oh, we all tied up 2-2. Oof. They are not making it easy, bro. Even when you think you got an advantage. So Madeline mirror match. We do have the advantage of a second DPS versus 2 supports, but our Madeline is standing tall though. Okay, fine. Oh, okay, they got rid of magic. Oh, got our artifact triggered. Damn, his Madeline is just standing tall. I think the support's gonna win out for him. Yeah. Yeah, that's the power of added support. Even the second DPS was not enough. So got a few more of those. We got a few more of those to pick up. Timeline 20 times. I know we have to. Oh, well, I suppose that's cool. Can always use more bios. I know we had to craft for this thing. Clear 300 dimension missions. Participate in timeline 50. Participate in ABX. Upgrade comment card, combine Uru, all of that stuff. So inventory crunch. Right? Yeah, all these damn menial tasks that I never do. Right? It's one. It's two. Okay. Yep. Did not mean to use 4-star on that. Okay, let's get the combines out the way. Okay. Oh, got one more. Here we we can use 4 stars on this one. I ain't trying to be here forever doing this. Possibly get a couple of these 5 stars out of the way as well, especially the fodder ones. Okay. Let's go back to the banner link. Okay, million gold, not bad. Let's battle normal 10 times, participate in timeline battle 50 times. We haven't even gotten started on that. And clear world boss 50 times. Yeah, he might serve as a I was thinking about putting Thanos in there as a striker, but I think he'll be better served for me as a leadership. Yeah, this is gonna be a battle. Okay, let's see what we do this rotation. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to get the every light. Right. Oh, he beat me to that one? Oh. Actually got him on that one, but just barely. Let's go ahead and snatch that one. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that by the time we got into the meat and potatoes. Oh, he's gonna beat me to that one. Got $1.40 left with 18 bars. Yeah, I think as long as I get the next light, we should be all right. Because I don't think it's enough time for another. Well, I know it's not enough time for another set to come out, but like his defense would go up as well. So really trying to avoid that scenario. Ooh. Ebony over there playing with the meteor rocks. Trying to clap. 30 seconds left. This light will definitely help us finish him off. All right. That's what it is. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and finish the rest of these world boss off stream, because your boy does have to go get ready, but we were able to climb at least a little bit. I don't think we'll try this with Thor, only because I know I have the strikers. And Thor does hit really, really, really hard. But we'll see if we can pull this off with him. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh. Yeah, even though that's an off rotation. It was still on prop. 30 seconds in, less than 5 bars. I don't know. And I'm gonna have to wait in there to be able to go get light. He can run away from me, negating damage, making me have to wait for another rotation. Yeah. That was okay damage. I don't know. play out. I don't think he's gonna have enough beats though. Oof. And your boy didn't know where I was. I love it. Yep. Yeah, the additional time I having to wait for the light, I think is kind of working against me a little bit, fam. 2 minutes left. Ooh, we barely got that. Yeah, 30 bars left, 2 minutes. I don't think so. It's gonna need like another minute. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time. I gotta get to this party. Anyway, y'all like, comment, share, sub. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. And yeah, we'll go ahead and let this thing ride out to, I don't know, something. We still have a lot to do, but we can do it while we're watching, I don't know, the halftime show or something. Anywho, yeah, we'll let it ride out to Otherworld Battle. That works. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Go do the survey. Peace.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby, have a taste. All the high